Now he's Mr. T. Don't play. That's my boss now.
The big boss.
Yeah. Shout out to your competition also. The Kenny T 101 podcast.
Boo!
Hello, in the interview. That I'm 2 minutes.
What up? It's your boy Benas Banda, aka B Money, aka Mr. 50K. This is the 50K podcast. Joining me on the show this week is television personality and actor Medad. Welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, thanks so much for having me, bro. I'm so afraid of being here.
No, don't worry. It's a safe space. First question, gorilla debate. 100
The
men versus
human
gorilla.
beings will win. We are smarter than the ape. We are smarter. Now, I feel like obviously maybe like the first 15 people would die.
Yeah.
Ridiculously.
They'll be decimated.
Yeah. But after that, obviously the strategy that will be implemented, because we are smarter than apes.
Yes.
If we came from them, obviously we're better than them. So yeah, we'll definitely win.
I think people are overrating the gorillas.
No,
They think they're Thanos type.
No,
Planet of the
that
Apes
let's
type
not
of
take
gorillas.
away from the gorilla. That's a strong. Have you seen a silverback stand up, bro? That was jacked.
I saw a tweet saying the way the first person would be killed would be narrated for years.
Bro, that animal is jacked. But I saw someone on TikTok saying I just did 10 people, and the people he was name dropping was Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
There was the world's strongest man guy.
Mark Henry.
Yeah, we just put a lot of people together.
Mike Tyson.
And you can
prime.
take the gorilla out easily, but the first one going in,
the first entrant into the.
it's late, my way.
I know if it was true in medieval times, they would have made it happen. It's just that
Yeah,
now
yeah,
these
yeah,
human
yeah.
rights things, even Mr. Beast can't pull it off. He would be cancelled.
I feel like Mr. Beast is itching inside. Everything in Mr. Beast is Mr. Mr. Beast.
He's a corporate guy.
This is a good podcast. It's not one of those.
Yeah. No, we're not Mac G.
Hey, but Mark G is living his best life though.
No, he is.
I hope you reach those heights where you can say whatever you want and get away with it.
And get away with it. And still get the bag. But for now, we're still trying to be safe. Anyway, speaking of media careers, I first heard about you when you're on Dreams. You actually, you actually tagged me on a post on Facebook. Yeah.
I used to be a fan. You.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I'm happy for the success.
I'm happy for you as well, bro. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, so you're talking about how you were the host, but then unfortunately you got Benas, or rather Kachingad. You were replaced.
Oh, you brought that up.
No. But at least you took a behind the scenes role.
Also
afterwards.
for me, with Dreams, as I always love it and appreciate it because it built so many. It opened doors for me without realizing it was opening doors for me.
Yeah.
So the way Dreams was set up is when I was in uni, I tried out for this show. Yeah, and when I tried out for this show, so what the backstory is, when I was in uni, I used to host events for the school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then I didn't realize my potential, and my friends did. And then Dreams put out a banner. Then Zambezi Magic wasn't even in the country then. That was strictly ZNBC. And then they put out a banner saying, we're looking for a new host. Blah, 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 blah. I didn't know what the backstory was. Yeah, so I tried out for this show, and I got it. Do you know how I got this show, bro? So we arrived, there's 50 people, and I was the first one to be interviewed. I swear to you, wow. I entered there, it was 1 minute or less. I enter, I do my thing, I come out, and the next person goes in is 15 minutes. The next person goes in is 20. I'm like, what did I do in there? And then they told us, don't go home because we need to speak to you at the end of the, And then at the end of all of these 15, 20 people were auditioned, the producer, who was Dr. Paul from Botswana, comes out and he says, Mwache, kanchiteko talk time. Like,
What?
even sending me to go buy talk time. But then I was like, because he's older than me, obviously, my mother raised me to be a better person. So I go to there was a corner store, bought the airtime, came back, everybody was gone. I'm like, where's the rest of these people? I was like, welcome to Dreams. I'm like, see what you did there. That's how I got that role. And then Dreams was strictly on ZMBC. So we did like season 3. The first 2 seasons were hosted by Cleo Ice Cream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So obviously big shoes to fill because she's amazing at her craft and what she does. And we did season 3 on ZMBC. Nobody knew me. Even after the season finale, nobody knew who I was. But I feel like I believed in my craft enough to know I delivered a solid project. And after that was done, season 4 was about to happen, and that's when Zambezi Magic was coming into the country.
They came with the Mnet money.
Yeah, they came in with the rocks, they came with the shit.
Yeah.
And my then producer, Lucky, shout out to amazing man. Lucky Chiowele, an amazing. Right now, he's into construction. I don't know how we switched. So let me even plug him. If you want to build a house, go to Grey Corp. No, he changed my life. Sponsor the 50K podcast. You've got racks.
No, he'll come
I knew this would be a mess.
No, he'll come there.
What was I even saying?
Oh, you're talking about how he changed your life.
Yeah, so like Lucky calls me and tells me, hey, young man, you remember that show we did on The Amazing Magic? Because on The Amazing Magic it was me and Sapiso Precious, shout out to her as well. And I think we did a decent job, but we were kids fresh out of uni and all of that stuff. And Zambezi Magic came, they offered Zambezi Magic money. And I was like, yeah, I remember the show. So it's like, you want to come on and do the show? I was like, 100%. So I go to the office, we start planning and all that stuff that's going on. And then they submit to Zambezi Magic. Then Channel didn't know who I was.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Channel didn't know who I was. So they submit the names, and obviously they saw the clips that I did, and they saw the clips that Cleo did. And I remember being told, I don't want to say who told me this.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah, but I remember being told, yeah, so Medad, here's the thing. You are good. You're very good at what you do, but we don't know who you are.
Sounds like something I hear all the time.
We don't know who you are. But Cleo has the numbers and she'll bring value to the show. And I understand that 100%. The reason why my social media life changed that day, because they literally told me social media wise, Cleo has got presence and you are non-existent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like very minimal numbers on socials. And I was like, which is a very, very valid reason. Like I didn't have a problem with Cleo then. Obviously she's a superstar. And I was just like a boy from Matero trying to find his way.
Trying to get out the trend.
Yeah, and they told me straight up. It's like, so here's what's up. We love you. You're amazing. You think you're dope at what you do, but who are you? And I was like, oh yeah. So that's how I went home depressed as hell. And that was when I was also just transitioning from computer science, because also there's a whole backstory with that. I don't want to jump into that. Yeah. And I went home, I was depressed and all of that stuff. So I think Lucky, that's why I appreciate this man so much, noticed there was something wrong with this kid back in the hood. So he calls me, tells me, hey, yo, young man, come. I know you won't be hosting, and that's what you'll have to do, but are you willing to be one of my line producers for the show? I'm like, yeah. Sure. Yeah, so from that, it transitioned from me being his line producer to being one of his right-hand people. Yeah, and
it was uphill from there.
Yeah. Also, what's amazing about that show is right now I still currently work for Power TV, and I met the CEO Kenny Tonga on that show. He was one of the producers. He told me one time, "Mwache ngakwi." This is my best impression of Mr. Tonga.
Yeah.
Mwache ngakwitanga time yafika. I'll call you when the time is right. Yeah. And for sure when Power TV happened, he rang me and he's like, you remember when I told you I want to call you when the time is right? Yeah. He rang me and I called you and I came on. And that's how I joined Power TV. and I started doing this show called Vichitika. So it just basically covering the events that are happening in the land. But one time I went to get my salary, yeah? So because I wasn't paid by the company, I was paid directly by him.
Okay.
Because that was like a separate arrangement. Because I used to call him Kenny then. Now it's Mr. T. Don't play. That's my boss now.
The big boss.
Yeah. Shout out to your competition also. The Kenny T 101 podcast.
Boo! That's going to go viral.
I'm here to plug my people. What do you think this was?
No, speaking of, I've seen the discourse that's been happening, like comparing him to Z Podcast. So they're saying he is more of like the mature one. And Z Podcast don't do their research.
What are you asking me?
I do that.
What's the question?
No, I want to ask your take. Like, what's your take on him? Like,
on like both
because I knew he's the owner of like the Power Media. But I didn't know that he's got like a history of like journalism. I think he's been on
How do you think
before.
he started this whole thing?
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, he's just a goat. Don't play with Kenny Tonga.
So the only episode of his I watched was the Yomaps one. Actually.
Yeah.
And I was
that one
impressed.
has been doing pretty well.
Yeah, because he's never opened up like that on any interview.
Yeah,
I saw him on Growth Podcast, Suilanji. There's some things that Sui managed to get out, but with Kenny, like there was a way that not even McG in SA manages to. Because with McG, first you get you drunk, you talk for 1 hour. Then the did you smash questions now start coming in.
Did you smash? Did you smash? Now, I feel like Mr. Tonga has been doing this for a long time and he knows his industry, he knows his niche. And that's why the Kenny One-on-One podcast will be one of the biggest podcasts we have in this country, hands down. Yeah. With that Z podcast, that's home for me.
Oh yeah, you've been there like
I have actually hosted it one time. That's home for me. So you never catch me throwing strays at that Z podcast. To me, that's the best podcast in the world. No disrespect to you.
I disagree, bro.
To me, in the world. Yeah, okay, because that's because of how they made me feel. Not because they're better than the next podcast. No, just because of how I relate to K+, how I relate to Elson. I've been to both of these people's homes. I've eaten from both of these people's homes. So like it's
because of the food.
Yes. Yes, they fed me.
Ordering you a Streetway 3 right now.
Yeah, so I genuinely love those people. And the fact that at one time I said, "Oh, do you mind if I take over one episode?" and they allow me to do that, I feel like that's why they're the best in the country. No shade. No shade to anybody.
Even you. Boss, no.
Even you.
I'm denied.
No, because you.
This is why I started this. I was not happy with what I was seeing. You know, like I'm a big fan of Mac, JRE.
No, because you thought this would be easy. You thought you would get me when when I just come here and it would just.
I was like, no, I have to come in and show you how it's done.
And that's why I can never really compare both podcasts. I can never say which one is greater. I feel like they both have their niches and they also have their strengths and also they have their weaknesses. Yeah, but with that said, we move.
No, yeah. Like at the end of the day, it's down to preference.
Yeah, true. 100%.
It's just that people here don't really know because we're conservative.
But also for
so
you, for your podcast, I feel like you should have done this earlier. I don't know what you're waiting for. Because you have the podcast niche. You don't have the interview niche. You love conversations. You don't ask questions.
Yeah, right.
So
I no, I didn't have the money, man.
Now it's Mr. 50K.
No, but even when I had that ended money, it just increased my mind because I already had the platform.
I've been so curious, dog. What did you do with the 50K?
What did I do with the money? I bought a car, man.
All of it?
No, not all of it. And
Wait,
then with the
cars were 50K back in the days?
Cars were cheap, man. I got a Honda Fit, 2002, 30,000 kwacha. Now you can't even get a banged up camera.
You can't. I remember when we were shooting Dreams, you came with
One of
Ian.
the contestants,
Yeah.
Ian. Yes.
And you came in your 50K car.
Yes.
I was like, oh, hey, the boys, they're weeping now.
Inspiring moment. But now you're even like making more money, driving bigger cars. Life is
Can you
unfair,
not put
man.
my business out there? Right now, I came on a Yango.
No.
The people should know.
We're going to go with the cameras outside and show them the Land Cruiser. Anyway, speaking of Zambezi Magic,
Yeah.
for most people, you rose to fame 2018, but you had been in the game
Yeah.
years prior.
So
You're-
what's the question? Well, finish your question. Sorry.
yeah. So 2018, you make an appearance, Date My Family.
Was that 2018?
Yeah, it was 2018. Yeah, and at the time, it was one of the most watched
Yeah.
shows on the channel, and you rose to prominence. And you're not even the lead, funnily. You're just one of like the guys, and then your family saw you, and you got picked. So how was that for you? The reception of
Date My
Date My
Family.
Family,
I don't think I can ever run away from that. Like, in as much as I try. Oh, fun fact: as I ended up being one of the researchers and producers for Date My Family recently. Yeah, shout out to Nancy and David, an amazing producer. But we'll get back to that later on. So Date My Family, what had happened was there was a guy who didn't have a house. And from Dreams, I met, because the thing about the industry in terms of like the technical part is it's the same people that I just recycled, because our industry is very small. And in terms of DOPs and directors and like the tech crew are very, very minimal.
Yeah.
So the people that worked on Dreams are the people that were working on Date My Family. So they rang me one time because I used to live with my best friend then, Sammy. One of their DOPs rang Sammy because Sammy.
Sammy, master.
No. Sammy, YCB, Hanika, amazing DOP. Zuba, he just graduated from after. Is doing so well. Right now, I feel like he's the most expensive DOP in the country. No disrespect to DJ Lo and no disrespect to direct.
Director Lo.
Don't.
Bruh, isn't Director Low and Kenny Rock level now?
No, Kenny Rock. Nobody can touch Director Rock. Let's even remove Kenny Rock out of the conversation. That's that's the goat. Remove him. Yeah. But in terms of like film, he was mentored by Chosa, an amazing DOP. But then like anyway, I'm talking too much. Let's go back to Date My Family. So yeah, Chosa was the then DOP of that show. So he calls Sammy and tells him, you guys have got like a decent apartment. And they live in a decent apartment. He's like, can we have this guy come and shoot from your apartment? I was like, yeah, sure. So when they came, I was just being me because I'm a loud mouth and I make people comfortable. And while we were doing that, the producer of the show sees me and says, you should be on this show, young man. I'm like, no. On which show? You should. So somehow they managed to convince me to be on the show. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And then I ended up on the show. And all of that happened. And it became the most watched episode of Date My Family in Zambian history ever.
Wow.
Ever.
I'm not surprised. And I'm sure people are still watching it now, right?
Yeah, they run it back every so often.
1Z shows like old Zambezi Magic episodes.
Yeah.
So you go to like a restaurant in Mtendere and they're still playing that episode.
Yeah, it became the most watched episode. People loved it. And while I was on the show was running, this is how my career kind of escalated. The director for Zuba, then Owa Swapi, who's also the casting agency or agent for Zuba, sees the performance. To him, it was, I was just like, I'd never thought about, I was just being me, right? And he messages me on Facebook, but then that's when like the DM started getting like a lot of attention from the girls.
Yeah.
So I didn't really, I didn't really see his
We'll get
message.
to that, don't worry.
Yeah, I didn't really see his message, so I kind of missed it. And when I eventually got to it, he says, Mwache, I've got this thing I want you to try out for. Come and do a screen test. And the day of the deadline, he told me, was a day before I saw the message. And funny enough, me and my best friend, Sammy, then, was the day he was going to try out to camera operate. Yeah. So we went to set together. Yeah. So he went to set as a camera operator, and I went there to try out as an actor. And I did this scene where I was supposed to go in. There was Elkanah. He was playing Tando, the role that's played by Dobji.
By Dobji now.
Yeah, it was Elkanah then. I was supposed to go in, throw a tantrum, and get fired.
Yeah.
So initially I was supposed to be on Zuba for 1 day. Entered in, I don't know what performance I gave. I'm assuming it was dope. Because they kept me seasons. They kept me for seasons instead of that 1 day. Yeah, so we did that thing and I left and they called me back saying, "Oh, we need you back for." And I didn't even. Do you know what's crazy about like Zuba? I didn't even know what my character name was until I saw the scripts.
Yeah.
So I'm on the course sheet. So my obviously my character name is Shaka. So I see the script come out. At first, I was just designer one. Yeah, I didn't know. Like every time I would go into work, it was just designer one. The day I got my name, so I see that it says Shaka. Call time is 7 hours. Yeah, I was sleeping at 6, bro. So now the producer, the first AD calls me and is like, "Doug, where are you? Are you on your way?" I'm like, "On my way where? I'm not on the call sheet today." I was like, "You didn't see your name?" I was like, "What you mean?" Then I read, it says Medad. I was like, "Oh, dang." Then I was late for my first official day on set. Man. Yeah, and then from that, obviously, all of these seasons happened because from season 3 up until the very end, I've been on Zuba. During that process is when an amazing lady called Nancy and Davide decided to create or readapt a show called Wanilata.
Yes.
Yeah. So Wanilata is a South African adaptation of Uyantandana. Yeah, and then they switched it for Zambia. So she pitched for that, got the gig, and she called me. I was like, "I'm trying to do this. Do you want to jump on board with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, why the hell not?" And we did that. Fun fact is we are the fastest commissioned show on Zambezi Magic. Ever. We commissioned for season 2 after 2 episodes.
Oh, wow.
Channel saw 2 episodes. Like, we want more of this.
Most people have to wait like a year, 2 years.
Yeah, 2 episodes. They get 2 episodes. They saw 2 episodes. Wow. So, yeah, that's we still hold that record. And that's what we did 2 seasons of that. We were supposed to do another 3rd season, but obviously industry politics, we still. I don't want to talk more on that.
Nancy would have to cover.
Nancy would have come and speak for herself. Yeah. And then while I was doing Zuba and Wanilata, a friend of mine, SK and BJ, thought because there was a character called Danko Limbani in Zuba. And he did so well by himself. People loved him so much. So they thought, hey, why don't we do a spin-off?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then him and Uncle Limbani, BJ and SK did a collaboration. They did the spin-off, and they created that, and that's how I jumped on that show as well. Yeah, so everything has been linked, really and truly. From Power, it was linked to Dreams. Zuba was linked to Dead My Family. Wanilata was linked to Dreams, to Zuba, and yeah, so it's been.
You've got your own Amazing Magic universe going on.
Right, I've got a little thing going on the
Thanos
side.
type thing, snap your finger, and all these other heroes come.
I'm not complaining. I prayed for days like this, bro.
Yeah. So speaking of Date My Family, I was watching the trailer just a few hours ago. Did you ever have something serious with Sally, or when the camera stopped rolling, it was like, that's a wrap?
I've always
this is great entertainment.
I've always gotten that question. No, Sally is an amazing person, honestly and truly. I was in a relationship when I went on Date My Family.
Yeah, that's expected because you were put there because they saw that you.
Yeah, and I feel like that was public knowledge because the only relationship I've been public with was that one, the one I was in then. Yeah, people just didn't know who I was.
So you don't post your women?
The thing about me about relationships now is I'm with someone, but you just won't know who it is unless you're a detective.
So you don't find girls that like complain to say, I would want you to post me.
H my if my wife right now doesn't even like social media like that.
No, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Some of us suffer. Like, no, why you hiding?
Why you hiding? No, it's not like hiding. No, like every time we go for dinner or you either see feet, you see our you see our fingers, you see our meals. Yeah, you know. I didn't go to dinner alone. Like half the time I'm not just like trolling. Like I would post a handbag and say solo dinner. Yeah.
No, that's good enough. So which women do you go for? Do you go for like industry girls or you go for like an ordinary girl that works in the bank?
Ah, that's an interesting question. Yeah, like I've never really been someone that would date someone from the industry until recently. Yeah,
One of these TV personalities change your mind.
until recently. I won't say where she's from, but yeah,
Which
like
DJ?
I remember Sam Sakala and myself were having this conversation when I was judging him hard when he was like, nah, but bro, you never know, and he was like, you will learn, and I learned. Yeah, like industry people, for me, no disrespect to like the industry queens, is they're all over the place. Yeah. There are very few people that are up front and just up like right. But a lot of our industry queens are
They're all over.
yeah, they're very jumpy. Not because I feel like it's because of the work they do.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell who's genuine and who's not. So you tend to try out so many options while you're trying to figure yourself out. I feel like that's the reason. But overall, my game plan was not to be with someone from the industry. Ever. Half the time, it was my go-to field was medical. Not because I would like pick myself, but I just find myself in a situation where I'm dating a doctor or a nurse, or like someone that's in the medical fraternity in general. But it just turns out the person that makes me 100% happy right now is somebody I've worked with. So if you know your mathematics.
I'm going to start throwing names.
I don't think
people are now going to
I
like
don't
binge.
think you even get this one though. But now I've been a little bit open about it. I think I've been throwing hints here and there on social media. I think people now know. I don't think there's reason to hide anymore. Yeah.
That's an interesting one. For a second, the nursing school girlies are going to start sliding in your DM.
I know, but I'm like, no, I can move out. That was like a part of my life. I don't think I could ever go back.
No, I think for the industry hands, I think it's the nature of the job, man.
Yeah,
because if you're an
like
artist
I don't
like,
judge them.
Producers are going to be hitting on you.
Yeah.
Promoters are going to be hitting on you.
What's even crazy is I don't the interview. That I'm doing it. I knew I was gonna have so much fun here. I just didn't know how much. What were we saying?
We're talking about the industry hands. Like how promoters.
No. Like, yeah, because like our industry hands are the strongest people we have in the game, bro. Yeah, because they go through so much, and it's a shame a lot of them succumb, but then some of them still stay upright and true to themselves. But they're strong.
I know you definitely have to be strong.
Yeah.
You have to be strong. And people take advantage if you're like in a position of power.
100%.
And this is even like the raging debate now regarding, we've talked about this guy a lot, McG, where he talks about how Minnie Dlamini had to like slip her way to the top. Yeah. And now he's been summoned by Parliament.
Yeah. Go ahead. Come and explain.
And if he misses, he's going to be fined.
But he's rich now. He will pay.
No. I think he'll probably miss, depending on when this will air. I think he'll miss and then he'll pay.
It's good money.
A lot of money from what's his boost? Grandeur.
Yeah, they even got like all of his podcasts because Podcast and Chill, the Piano Pause,
Popcorn and Cheese,
and the other one with this Chief.
The kids. On side. No.
What's that podcast? They're all going on Zanzi Magic. So obviously that's
the
check.
TV deal now. Yeah, and that check is going to be massive.
Don't do a TV deal.
I don't think I would, because now
it would dilute
It
all of
dilutes
this.
the thing and then...
Sorry,
maybe
I didn't mean that.
Ah.
My TV people, I am still with you.
Speaking of, would you start a podcast? Yeah, on a lot of TV shows.
Like I feel like podcast is the way to go now because TV is dying, radio is dying, and this is like a combination of both.
Yes.
I have had ideas that I would like to execute, and already, like for instance, I wanted to do. I started this thing where I was doing on my Instagram. It was called it was called Link Up Drink Up. So because I can't meet with my people every so often, so I would like meet with them on Instagram, and they would be drinking on their end, I'll be drinking on my end. And obviously stew and links, that is something like that. It's podcast and chill, or chairs and chill.
Chairs and
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah, so it's kind of similar to what I was doing, and it's under the Z Podcast family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're executive producers.
Yeah, which is beautiful for them. So I wanted to start something like that. If I wanted to start a podcast, it has to be alcohol involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, because just like I enjoy a good drink and I
then you
enjoy
get
good
Zambia
conversations.
breweries
But then,
as a sponsor or something.
yeah, gems and people I relate to, just Zambian breweries, people I relate to as well, to jump on it. It will be easy, but then I don't think it's right for me right now. Yeah, I would maybe eventually, but not right now.
And then radio. Are you on radio right now?
No. I was doing a radio show which ended on Friday. I did it for a month. I only came back after like 2 years because the bag was right. And also because the promoters were very convincing, and it was a good gig. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah. But radio, no. I'm not, you miss me. I'm not coming back anytime soon.
I was a big fan of radio, man. I grew up listening to 5FM SA.
Yeah.
Did you ever listen to those radio stations?
So here's the thing about like radio. I found myself on radio by accident. So I never really had the whole radio background or training. So what happened was, remember when I was working for Power before it was like in the inception.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for my paycheck one time, and then KJ was doing a show called Z Shakedown.
Oh yeah.
On Power FM. And then while KJ was on radio, I went into the booth and we were just having a conversation, and he opened the mic. And we started throwing back and forth, and we had a really dope show. What had happened was Mr. T was listening to that radio show while driving to work. So he calls the station manager and says, "Who's on radio with KJ?" So the station manager then comes into the booth and checks, and he finds it's me. And he says, it's Medad. Yeah. So Mr. T arrives to the station and he calls me to the office. So I thought I messed up. So I go into the station and I'm like, sir, what's going on? I know what you're doing today. Yeah, I was like, and I was just messing around. And it was like, okay, I think you've got something and it's beautiful and I want to give you a radio show. Wow. Yeah, fast forward, he gave me KJ's show. KJ went to breakfast. That's how I started radio. So I never really had like a background training or like a feeling to like be on radio. The only time I've ever had that feeling is when, so there's this woman, Lily Mutambo.
Oh, the one in
the loudmouth.
Oh.
Yeah, she owes me a lot of money. She should even stop playing.
What happened, bro?
So the no disrespect to the lady, she had the right vision. She started this show called Z Factor, and on that Z Factor is
Where was this? On Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook. I think back in the day. Oh. Initially, it was supposed to be on the NBC or some stuff like that. I don't know. She started called Z Factor, and then I used to live in Chunga, Mataro, and I auditioned for the show, and they got me. So this show actually started a bunch of careers, which is why we should appreciate this woman. But she's a problem.
She'll release payment after this, don't worry.
I don't even need the money. I'm up.
You
now.
marked it over as bad debt.
That's a bad debt.
Your accountants are taking it off.
So she started this show called Z Factor, and people were auditioning, and she was asking people to pay 30 kwacha, I think. 30 kwacha for audition forms. I even sold some of those audition forms, bro. And now my name was on the line.
Yeah.
Because technically that was fraud, because the show never happened. Yeah, so 30 Kwacha, and that's why I met Chichi Daisy for the first time because she was one of the line producers.
Okay.
That's why I met Davis Tony for the first time because he was the photographer. That's where Rhoda, QTV. Me and Rhoda were the presenters. There was Jemima on there, and there was Sapiso as well. Who else was on that show? That I know. There's a bunch of people that have been gone corporate now. Yeah, they put this show together for this woman because she was in the best in the UK then.
Yeah.
And this show just never happened.
But that was a fire lineup that she assembled.
Yeah, no, like the Avengers assembled for sure. But then the show just
didn't
never
kick off.
really kicked
How
off.
come? Like,
We
did the
don't know what
funding, like,
happened to the money.
stall?
I don't know what happened to my pay. Yeah, because obviously if you hire me, they even brought, what's her name? And she was from Zimbabwe or Malawi. She was one of the Big Brother contestants.
Pokelo?
I don't know. I don't remember her name, dog. Yeah, she came. She was one of the, I think they knew each other. Yeah. And that's
What was the show about?
it was supposed to be a musical show, like the way Dreams was.
like Dreams or Icon.
Yeah. The Dreams on steroids. And it just never kicked.
I forgot you did Icon, the finale. How did that go, by the way?
Oh, working with DK is amazing, bro.
How is he? I would like to pick his brain one of these days.
DK is
Get to reach out.
amazing. He's not a regular brain. Like, if you don't know him, you just think he's a dickhead, though. He's like rude or him. Yeah.
I actually went to audition for one of his productions, but
Yeah?
I wasn't picked, unfortunately. So I walked into the audition room and it's like, oh, finally, you've got a beautiful face. We've been looking for handsome men for the show. And then, because they gave us lines just there and then, so I didn't memorize them. So I messed up the lines.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's why I wasn't picked. So just based off that short interaction,
Yeah.
I could tell to say, okay, this is a nice
Nah,
guy.
DK is
On
dope.
Facebook is just like a
There's
persona.
like whatever you see on Facebook, that's not DK. DK is amazing. We have conversations every so often. We've developed like a really, really cool rapport between me and him, and it's just beautiful to work with him. He is ahead of his time. I hope he can achieve what he wants to achieve in Zambia, which might take a
brother
while. Yeah, maybe his child would do it.
No, that's the thing. You know, with content creation, most of us are in 2050,
Yeah.
2070.
Yeah, true,
while
true,
the
true.
masses are still in '06. So for you to like bridge that
Yeah.
gap and catch up and analyze the
Yeah.
market. This is something I feel my uncle is very good at, Robert.
Yeah.
If you look at like the songs that he's doing now, Bestie, Poverty,
Yeah,
you know,
he's
like
very smart
they're
with it.
appealing to,
He's
you
smart
know,
with
like,
it,
you know, that's not an Amarula, but it's getting the job done.
Really be on people, dog.
Yeah, so it's a skill that I need to learn as well. I always say if I could like speak Bemba, for example, I'll do like a whole podcast in Bemba. With someone like Ben Lombe. I can't speak. I don't even understand.
Ben, we're calling you out. It's our own podcast.
I will make the guest more comfortable, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but DK, amazing brother. So on the Icon, what happened? The episode I featured on, Mr. Moya was out of the country. I think he was out of the town or country. I'm not really sure where he went. And then DK needed, obviously, the show must go on.
Yeah.
So DK rang me because we had worked on that Pop the Balloon thing with him together. And he said, dog, I need your help. I need you to pull up. And I showed up because he's my brother. At this point, he's my brother because that's how we relate. We've been to game nights together. We've hung out together. The day I flipped my car, we were together. So, yeah.
When you flipped your Bentley.
You think, people think I've got, people think I've got bread. I'm just a dude. Yeah.
We got racks. We did a security. I was getting you in here.
Yeah, we were together. Luckily, I came out of that alive and still sound, yeah. So yeah, and then when he called me, I showed up, and the people just took it really well. Yeah, it went really well, and I think like view-wise, it's up there amongst the best episodes that the Icon has. And when the finale happened, they needed to have two hosts that talk to both audiences. Yeah, Mr. Moyawa is amazing, brilliant. Mr. Moyawa, I feel like Mr. Moyawa and Barack Obama are the same.
Yeah.
Or even Abel, you had Abel in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are people that have got a smoothing voice that will
Yes.
make you convinced that everything will be okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's sure it would be coming.
Like, yeah,
and if they speak,
don't worry, we're all gonna be fine.
Yeah,
We're gonna survive.
yeah, they have that gift
Yeah.
with them. So, and then there's me, who's like loud, but also knows how to balance the, the energy. Yeah, so they wanted to bridge the gap between corporate and social, and then they put us together, and that's how the icon happened, and we killed it.
It was a brilliant combination, man. Congrats on that one.
I hope they call me back.
Season 2. Yeah. So speaking of TV, there was a time when we were driving around, or rather, when you were driving around, you were all over the city, man. Like your face was plastered everywhere. Must have sucked to be your ex at the time.
It did. It did.
That's Hot Games
Yeah.
on ZNBC, the Lotto show. How did you get the show, and how did the show go for you?
Oh, that changed my life, dog.
Damn. You got Lotto money. You didn't have to play. You didn't have to participate.
Play. Yeah, that changed my life a little bit.
What did you buy?
A lot.
After making me answer, now people are going to start auditing. No, so in 2015.
Yeah,
did you file the returns?
Oh, yeah, here and there and there. Yeah, so
break.
Hot Games, I got that deal via Rediv Media. So Rediv is home to me at this point. Those even like my last show I was just talking about that brought me back to radio. That was all Rediv. Amazing people. I've got like the perfect handler at Rediv. She's amazing, and yeah. So they called me, come in and audition for this interview. I was like, okay. So I go in, I tell them my rates and all that stuff. Yeah, I gave them some amazing magic rates because obviously that's the standard.
Yeah, that's the standard.
Yeah, but then I was like, it's too light. It's too light.
Increase the fare.
So they elevated it. I remember, I don't even know how I got this gig, bro. So what had happened was I was supposed to have an interview with the team from the UK, right? So the team from UK, they called me last minute. I was driving back from work and I'm going home, driving to my best friend's car wash. And on my way, I reached out the car wash and tell me, Medad, are you available in 15? I was like, what do you mean? We have to talk to the UK team because, yeah, times have aligned and everyone's, I was like, So I drive out of the car wash because it's loud.
Yeah.
The car wash is in Kaunda Square, so I drive all the way to where Zaf is, and I park by Zaf because the network is perfect there. So I forgot that the last Zoom,
Teams.
Google Teams meet I had was with Mix Kasamwa. And we had like spaceship backgrounds. Bro, I start the meeting and my background is a spaceship. I'm like, sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. Could you just give me a minute? Now, I set that up on my computer. I didn't know how to remove it from my phone. I stayed like a good 5 minutes trying to figure out. The client is just waiting. I remember my handler, I don't want to mention names, my handler was like, I was very disappointed. Like, I fist pumped so hard. It's like, this is our last hope. We've gone through, because apparently for me to get that gig, they ran through almost all the industry.
And most of the guys were saying no?
No. They were just not the client just kept saying no.
Or they were not happy with their style.
They just kept saying no. And then eventually I managed to figure it out and we had this interview and we just had this back and forth. They throw, I throw back. They throw, I throw back. And they just said, we'll get back into you. And the following day, they told me you're the perfect man for the job. And we began.
And you got it.
And it was my biggest check so far.
To date. Yeah, no, that's how it is. Because sometimes I've also auditioned for like a show. I think it was like some farming show. There was USAID money involved. I'm told the bag was going to be very big for that one.
Yeah.
So even outside of Mnet, sometimes you can get big bags.
Yeah, like I've worked for Amazing Magic, and I'm not saying the Amazing Magic bag is.
No, it is big.
It's well, but then the bag I got from my last previous shows from Rediv, beautiful bags.
Yeah. I don't know. The Zoom story reminded me of there was like a court hearing in the US, and then one of like the judges logged in, but then like his face like turned into a cat. I think like his daughter was using. The app, like,
That's
"Oh,
what
sorry, I'm
happened
trying
to me.
I'm not a cat.
I was gonna figure out, bro. My whole background was spaceship, but then this brings me to the thing. Like, if it's yours, it's yours. Nobody can take it away from you. I had a whole spaceship background, but I got the gig. If I mention the names that were mentioned that went to audition for that show, bro, I'm just like, how did I move from here to here?
That one, even that other one.
Yeah, it was like a bunch of amazing people that came through and did their thing, but what was mine was mine.
Nice. So on presenting, not only do you do like on-air presenting, you also do live shows.
Yeah.
And you've done a number of big gigs, mostly Day of Thunder. Just
Right now, I am the Thanos of Zambian events.
So you've done Day of Thunder, Jameson.
I've done all of them.
Oktoberfest.
That matter. The only one I haven't done yet is Stanley Music Fest, and I could have, but I was, I was booked. On
You were
that day.
engaged.
But I'm really looking forward to it. I hope they really book me one day. Yeah, that's the only event like I'm looking forward to. Otherwise, for Mosi GOT, that's a beautiful relationship we still have going on, and I hope we continue it. That's like my baby now. Yeah, I hope they call me Mr. Mosi in the future. Jameson Connects is also another beautiful relationship we have as well. I hope it continues. Oktoberfest, one of the Zambia's biggest. That's also another beautiful relationship we have going on, and I hope it continues. So the only one remaining is Stanley Music Fest. If I do Stanley Music Fest, it's late. It's late for these people. Call me Thanos, the GOAT.
Yeah, so promoters, if he's busy, I'm the guy to call. Yeah, bro.
I was. Like, I really wish I
got
got Stanley Music Fest. I'm looking for. Hopefully, it happens in the near future. Yeah.
Nice. I haven't hosted a gig in forever, bro.
Yeah?
I think in like 2 years.
Do you wanna do it?
I do all the time. So when I see, I'm like,
This.
I don't know whether I'm not a safe person to work with, or people don't know that I'm back in the country. I'm not sure
but you
what it
were
is.
away for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's also that aspect.
Yeah, because even like today, you meet someone, you're not in SA, and then me going for Chris Brown even confuses people even more because they're convinced like this guy doesn't live here anymore. But
No, but then obviously this platform will do so many wonders for you. I'm looking forward to what you're about to create.
I hope so, man. There was some controversy regarding Day of Thunder.
Oh, I was about to say,
baby.
I don't do drama.
So the locals there
Yeah.
were complaining to say, you come to our city and you don't engage us. What's your take on that?
I don't want to have like a full-on opinion on this because that's obviously that's my client and they employ me. But I feel like as an artist, I'm not speaking about like the veterans. I'm speaking about like the up and coming out as artists. There's a difference between entitlement and privilege. Yeah. So if you create, let me give you a perfect example. A DOT set, a most DOT Thunder set is like 45 minutes. You have one hit song that the people know. Is that what you're gonna perform for 45 minutes? No, let's be honest. Is that what you're gonna perform for 45 minutes?
No, you can't.
Yeah, so I feel like DOT, Jameson Connects, Oktoberfest can't ignore you if your catalog is just good and it's just brilliant and the people want to mess with you that particular season. I remember one time I was having a conversation with people from XYZ and they told me at some point in this life, the way we used to measure our success in a year was if you're invited for Oktoberfest.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter that you have got one hit song. It could be the biggest song in the world. The only way you will find yourself on a concert stage if someone brings you out. Yeah. Because you have got one song. But if you've got 5 hit songs, you have got the leverage of adding your basic songs. Yeah. Because that's your set now. You know what I mean? And that's why most of these artists don't realize. Even like the old artists would get offended when you say, but then me, I've got a catalog and it's big and it's one and it's one. Are you relevant at the moment?
Yeah.
Are you gonna bring ticket sales? Because this is a business. You need to understand this is a business. Yeah. Are you gonna pull in the numbers? Yes, you've got one hit song that's trending right now, but are you relevant for that particular event? Yeah, so it's not really I'm not. Wait until I even get to the point where like I'm part of the decision makers. I don't make any decisions. I'm just but me, I'll say, but yeah, yes, he's got 5 hits. Yes, he's a good artist. Yes, he's been about for a long time. But how many people will he bring to the concert?
No, you can't get to that level. Look at Jay-Z. He's the guy who's been behind the NFL halftime shows.
Lil Wayne is bitter now.
I'm sure he hates Jay-Z now. Like,
but then these are things that people need to consider. Actually, like for up-and-coming artists, just put in the work. It's hard to ignore you if you put in the work. Yeah. It's hard. There's no way you can be ignored if it's your time. And that's just it. That's what it is.
Yeah. So in closing, like, what's your take on like guys like Jay Trigger, for example, who've been ignored for years and now he's got this viral
But isn't
TikTok
Jay
hit.
Trigger on every stage now?
He is.
Have you been? Yes.
No, it's just that I hardly like.
Yeah. So Jay Trigger's almost every concert someone is bringing him out. It's because now people are starting to recognize Trigger. Asked Trigger personally. When Bass Brain came out, I'm one of the first people to play it in Zambia. When almost all of these songs, I've been a follower of Jay Trigger, but I'm not one to tell him, you deserve it, you deserve it. He deserves it now.
Yeah.
How long has it took?
No,
you can't come and say, no, you deserve it from the first song. No, he has to put in the work. Now, it's hard for you to ignore him. He just hit, like right now when I was sitting over there, he just hit 100K streams on Spotify. That's not easy for a Zambian artist.
No, for a Zambian, no.
He hit 100K on YouTube the other day. He hit 100K on Audiomack the other weekend. So it's hard for you to ignore him. He's here.
Damn.
You see? So just put in the work.
At the end of the day.
I keep saying this.
King Medad. Thank you for coming here to the show, bro.
Appreciate it. We won't stop. We even know.
I know. We can do 5 hours like Kanye or the Drink Champs.
That was a long interview. Do you know what my favorite Kanye interview is? There are 2 things that I want to do in this life. One of them is like do a Kanye speech when I win like an award.
Oh yeah, the ones that usually does, yes.
Yeah. Most of you wanted to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we never know. I'm gonna use that one. But my favorite Kanye interview is like, you know what my favorite thing is? Yeah. I love depositions now. Yeah. So the other day, the opposing lawyer was telling me, Mr. West, please, why are you not talking to us? So I put my hands on my face. And the lawyer was like, please remove your hands off your face. And I told him, say please. Say please. And he said, please, Mr. West, would you remove your hands off your face? And I said, no. Kanye is my spirit.
When you was on peers, they're calling peers, yeah, boy. don't talk about that, boy.
Kanye, spirit, I mean. Love Kanye to death, bro.
Stay tuned for the games brought by Creator. This has been the 50K podcast. I'm your host, Benas Banda, my guest, King Medad. We shoot from King Spirit Image Room. Until next time, we out.
In this episode of Cup Stacking, we have Medad and Benas. Okay, winner doesn't get anything. 3, 2, 1.
Bragging rights.
No! Medad is
In conclusion, Benas sucks at this game. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. She's just waiting for me.
I have won.
First of all, but let me just declare that rigging is involved. Because why am I playing with one of the games? Alright. In 5, 4, 3, 2, Who won? Let's go. Oh.
Ah,